Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Tinmore podcast. This is Mecca, and I'm joined by Milku.
It's me.
And unfortunately, we couldn't be joined by Kosa today, but we'll still have fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We'll have fun reading Prisoners of the Sun.
Yes, we're reading Prisoners of the Sun today. Just ignore how long it's been since the last episode. We're ignoring that. So, anyways, it starts out, because this one continues right off of the last one. So we start out at police headquarters in Peru, and this guy, he gets a call, and basically it says, yeah, Haddock and Tintin are coming in. Oh, they warned me they'd be coming, and so the dude, who I'm assuming is a police officer because we're at the police headquarters, he's like, so, your friend got kidnapped, and you think he's on a cargo ship that's gonna arrive here any day now, is that right? Tintin's like, yeah. And can I just note, how did they get there before the ship did, though? Wait, actually, I think it's because they got in a plane.
Yeah, they got in a plane. Yes.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Flashback.
Yeah, flashback. So this dude's like, oh, don't worry. As soon as the ship comes, we'll search it, and if your friend's aboard, then we'll give him back to you right away. And then Tintin jumps out of his seat and he almost knocks it over. It looks like, and this police guy is he's like, what the heck? And Haddock turns around and he's like, Tintin, what are you doing? And even Snow, he's like, what?
Yeah, and he really bulls.
He just suddenly stands up.
He wasn't even looking. Like, he didn't even. It doesn't look like he's looking out the window. He was looking at this man.
There's one panel in between him looking at this police guy as he's talking oh, this is your situation, right? There's a panel of the police guy, and then the next panel, Tintin's just bolting from his chair. It's like, what is he doing?
He's looking at this man, and then Tintin turns his head slightly, and he's like, you
apparently his mind's wandering while he's talking to this guy. He's just like, oh, it's such a nice day. Wait a minute. So he goes to the window, and he's like, look, there's someone running away. Someone was spying on us. And the cop guy's like, oh, you have to be joking. And Tintin's like, no, I saw him looking at us through the railing, because there's a little porch type thing outside the window. It's one of those fancy buildings, you know? Mm-hmm. And so Tintin's like, yeah, he was looking through the railing and he disappeared behind those bushes. And the cop guy's like, don't worry about it. It's not like we said anything confidential or whatever.
Are you sure about that?
I mean, they kind of are like, oh, well, when the ship comes, we're going to search it. So, you know, if that guy,
yeah.
now they know you're going to search the ship.
Yeah, so that's pretty important. Especially.
Only slightly, I guess.
Yeah. But anyways, of course, spoilers, Tintin was right all along.
Yeah, Tintin's always right.
Yeah.
When is he not? It's that protagonist syndrome again. The cop guy, he's like, yeah, just forget it. Do you want a drink? We'll drink to your friend's return. And then it's just, that's it. The guy's like, oh, well, there was a spy, but let's drink, right?
Hergé's like, I'm too lazy to draw them drinking. So time skip.
Yeah, he just cuts to a few minutes later, and they're walking.
Good for them.
Yeah, well, it looks like Haddock, he's holding a glass, so I think he does drink, but not Tintin, because he's a good boy, and he would never, except for those few times he did, but, after that, he's like, never again.
Yeah, flashback to broken ear.
Yeah, he's like, after I woke up hungover and a general in someone's army, I decided never to drink again.
Yeah,
relatable.
I do not want to have that responsibility.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want to end up as someone else's army. I'm just gonna not drink ever again, especially in this country.
Yeah, army affairs, they're not that fun.
Yeah.
I like how Tintin's like, oh, I want to go on an adventure, and then he's like, well, who knew I was gonna get killed? Literally, he almost got killed a lot in what the heck is it called?
Broken Ear. Yeah.
Yeah. So being a general was, or what the heck, a colonel was probably the best thing that happened to him. Not gonna lie.
That was. He's like, you know, I almost get killed every time we adventure, but I thought this time would be different. Just every time he's like, aw. But yeah, Haddock is in a good mood. He's like, just think, we'll get to see him again. This is the happiest day of my life. And he's like, everything's gonna be perfectly fine. Then he turns to Tintin and he's like, what are you so gloomy for? Like, we're gonna see him soon. And Tintin's like, yeah, but like, you know, we're being watched, and that isn't a good feeling at all. So, you know, just Tintin things.
And then Haddock just straight up ignores him.
He does. Like, hey, shut up. Look at that, there's a llama. I'm not even kidding.
I know, right? He's just like, who cares if we're being watched? There's a llama. That will solve all our problems.
Yeah. Relatable.
Yeah.
Haddock's like, that doesn't matter that we're being watched. There's a llama. And Tintin's like, okay, but like we're being watched. And Haddock's like, no, Tintin, it's a llama. You don't understand.
And he's just like, kiwi.
Yeah.
But I like the way Tintin watches him.
I know, it's so cute. He's like got his hands folded behind his back. He's smiling.
Yeah, he's just like, yeah. I guess Haddock convinced him.
Yeah, Haddock's like, hey, llama. And Tintin's like, well, you got a good point there.
You got me there.
Yeah, wow. He's like, well, all right then.
Yeah,
and
I know, right?
So Haddock is like, he's petting this llama, and this kid comes up. He's like, hey, you might want to be careful. And Haddock's like, why? I'm not going to eat your llama. And Haddock's like, oh, it's a nice llama, isn't it? It likes me, don't you? And then it spits on him. And the kid's like, yeah, you made him mad. They do that when they're angry. And Snowy comments about like, oh, that's so rude. But like, to be fair, Haddock was just like walking up to this llama and like petting it, so
yeah,
a bit understandable.
If somebody walked up to me and petted me, I would spray water at them. If I had the ability.
Yeah.
No, I'm
just
joking.
Like someone you don't like walks up to you and you spit on them, and then they're like, okay, well.
Well, I mean, llamas, they're mysterious creatures, but I understand them.
Maybe that's why Haddock wanted to go up to them. He's like, Tintin, they're so mysterious. We have to like go up to them, right? And Tintin's like, they're not really that mysterious. And then Haddock's like, no, be quiet.
Llamas are just like cats. They like, if you touch them, they will scratch you. well, most of the time.
Mm-hmm. Those llamas have just like the sharpest claws they'll claw you with. Man, that's an untrue fact. Don't listen to that.
Llamas just have they just have the same energy as cats.
Yeah, fair enough. That llama looks so smug.
I know, like a cat. He's looking at him like, It just reminds me of how a cat would look at you.
Yeah, but Haddock, he has the audacity to go, you ungrateful brute! Animals like that shouldn't be allowed. But like, as we established, he just went up to this llama and harassed it. So like, you know, oh, it's so ungrateful. It didn't want me to just randomly pet it. So stupid.
Oh yeah, I wish they were more like cats. You know.
What's wrong with this giant cat? This weird giant cat. But yeah, Tintin, this is so like petty. Tintin goes, perk up, Captain. Don't look so gloomy. You said it yourself, didn't you? We're gonna see calculus again. And Haddock's just like, this dude. He's like, I can't believe it.
He's just like really
and,
angry.
Honestly, he's like, "How dare you, Tintin?" But like, hats off to Tintin, honestly.
Yeah.
What a power move.
I know.
But they go into their hotel, and there's this guy that's following them. You can see him in like the other panel, and he's like, so that's the hotel they're staying at. And so the next morning, Tintin gets a call, right? And he's like, "Oh yeah, Chief Inspector. Oh, you see the ship? Okay, we're gonna be there right away." So they go down to the docks, and Tintin's like, "Oh, there's the Chief Inspector right now with his men." And Tintin's like, "Wait, I must be seeing things." And Hank's like, "Oh, it's the Thompson. What are those two morons doing here?"
They're both like, "Oh no, I must be seeing things. I don't want to see them."
I just close my eyes, and then it won't be them here to ruin everything.
Oh my god. Well, let's see if they actually are useful.
Yeah, I don't think they are, but we can hope. But the Chief Inspector's like, "Oh, here's your friends that you asked about," and Tintin's like, "Hey, what a coincidence!" And the chief is like, "No, not at all. They were sent by the CID to help search for your friend," which also, again, brings up the question of what is the Thompsons' job? Because, like, do they have a specific department, or do they just, like, do whatever the plot needs them to do? Honestly. Hank's like, "So where's the boat?" And the chief's like, "Oh, it's right over there." And so Haddock looks at it through, why did I forget the word?
Binoculars.
Yes, thank you, the binoculars. And he sees the ship, and he goes, "Oh my gosh." He says, "Thundering typhoon."
But you know, like nowadays, that's oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Translation.
Basically, that's just a very fancy "oh my gosh," you know?
That's his own unique way of saying "oh my gosh."
Yeah. "Oh my gosh" is out. "Thundering typhoons" is in.
Kids these days saying "oh my gosh." That's Haddock.
Yeah. But yeah, Tintin's like, "Dude, what are you doing?" And Haddock continues cursing in his own special way, and he says, "They have the yellow flag, and you know what that means? Or specifically, it's a yellow flag with a blue pennant. And do you want to know what that means, Milku?"
What does it mean?
"It means there's an infectious disease aboard. Oh boy."
Oh dear. They're gonna say the Q word.
Oh no.
Well, I mean, yeah. Moving on.
We're just gonna pretend that nothing is happening in the world right now. One of the Thompsons, he goes, "But we have to go search the ship." And Haddock's like, "Are you crazy? We can't get on that ship until the port health authorities have cleared the ship." And so they launch a boat to go check it out and stuff. And Haddock and Tintin they're standing on the shore. It looks really nice, actually.
It's like a oh my god, they're doing like a power stance.
Mm-hmm. They are. Haddock has like his hands on his hips, and then Tintin has his hands behind his back. It's really funny.
I don't know why it's so funny. Please stand like normal people. This is how normal people stand actually. Everybody just stand like this.
They kind of look like villains, like in the movies when the villains are like looking off into the distance evilly. That's kind of what they look like.
And then Snowy's there.
Yeah, Tintin's just like a villain petting his dog while he stares evilly. Yeah, his dog.
I thought you said, never mind. I thought you said something else.
Oh dear.
Yeah, and even in the next panel, he's still making that pose.
Really yeah, Tintin he has like it's such a ridiculous pose. Like less so in the first one, but in the second one, he just looks ridiculous. But like in a good way.
Yeah. You know, he has his hands behind his back a lot in this comic.
Mm-hmm.
Like whenever he's not holding
Maybe
whenever he's not holding something,
he's.
he's just like, I have to put my hands behind my back.
I think it's cute though.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
it's just like a. I'm pretty sure it's just an old-fashioned thing, but like still very cute.
I know, right? He looks somehow
Yeah.
menacing and not menacing at the same time.
Exactly. It's so strange.
If that
He
makes
looks like
sense.
yeah, he looks like the professor character who's like very mysterious and you don't know if he's good or bad completely. Like that trope? That's what he looks like right here.
Oh yeah, he looks like some weird background character. And like the suit makes it, yeah, the suit makes it even more like the fact that he's wearing a suit. It makes it even more like mysterious.
Yeah, that's Tintin for you. But yeah, one of the Thompsons is like looking at one of the bags that's on the dock, and he's like, "Hey, Captain, what's this guano stuff?" And Haddock's like, "Okay, well, how do we put this?" And then a seagull poops on one of the Thompsons' hats,
Plop.
and Haddock's like, "Yeah, that's what that is." So funny.
Oh my god, I like the sound effect. It's just plop.
Yeah,
That's what it sounds
that's the
like
sound of
whenever.
bird poop
Yeah.
hitting a top hat. Obviously. So about this boat that has a Tintin goes, "Oh, they're hoisting more flags. It's like yellow and black checkered," and Haddock's like, "Oh my gosh, she's gonna be quarantined." That's not relatable at all.
Oh no. Oh man, imagine being quarantined. Can't
I
believe this.
know.
Yeah.
So unrelatable. Anyways, one of the Thompsons is like, "Oh, they're celebrating the captain's birthday," and Haddock's like, "How stupid are you? They're gonna keep her in isolation to avoid infecting everyone else. That's very smart. Just wow." And the chief is like, "Oh, the boat's coming back. What's the diagnosis, doctor?" And they're like, "Yep, 2 cases of yellow fever on board, 3 weeks quarantine." Oh, wouldn't that be nice?
Oh man,
Just 3 weeks.
that would be nice.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, but
It's
then
kind of sad that
it's kind of sad that what?
it's kind of sad that we're sitting here like, wouldn't that be nice?
I know, right? Now we actually have to like I don't know, like a year ago, you would read this comic
Yeah,
and then you would be like, whatever. I wouldn't
I
think
know.
twice about
I
this part.
When I read this a couple years ago for the first time, I just didn't think anything of it. I'm like, man, the boat's got. They can't get on the boat anymore. And now it's just like, aw. But yeah, um, uh, the chief is like, "Yeah, sorry, but you're gonna have to wait to get on the boat." It looks like, and Tintin, he's like, "Yeah, obviously." And he goes, "Hey, isn't that Doctor? Isn't he Indian?" Which is relevant because like the people who took calculus and that were spying on them were Indians. So just
Yeah,
that's
taken
why
out of
Tintin's asking.
taken out of context, it's really just like it implies that we shouldn't trust an Indian doctor. But yeah, no,
Yeah,
Tintin is a very equitable boy. He's a good boy.
yeah. Tintin's deducing stuff. He's not racist.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Well, at
So
least not like he used to be, but we have to keep
yeah,
away his dark past.
we're pretending that Congos didn't exist. So moving on. The chief's like, "Hey, why are you asking?" And Tintin's like, "Oh, no reason." The wheels in his brain are turning now. And it's a little later, and Haddock's like really mad about the 3 weeks. And he's like, "Oh, we don't even know if calculus is on board. Gosh dang it!" And Tension's like, "Well, that sucks, but we're gonna find out tonight." And Haddock's like, "Excuse me?" And Tension turns to him. He's like, "I'm getting on the ship tonight." And Haddock's like, "Wait, really? Hey, did you kind of forget about that yellow fever? Or are you stupid?" And Tintin's like, "You know what? I'm gonna bet that every single person on that boat is perfectly healthy. And Haddock's like, well, the doctor said, and Tim's like, the doctor's an Indian captain. Doesn't that mean anything to you? And
it sounds so racist.
I know it does, but like, it's plot relevant. I promise.
Yes.
I'm not defending it, but like,
don't worry, kids. As long as you don't take it out of context, you ought to read the last book before reading this one.
Yeah, please read you can also watch the last episode if you want, just if you want to. But yeah, so night falls, and they get in a rowboat, and Tintin's like, okay, stop here, or we're gonna be seen. And Haddock's like, are you sure? There's no sharks around here. And Tintin's like, nuts to the sharks. I'm sorry.
He's like, screw the sharks.
He's like, I don't care about sharks. Just... He's like, they should be fast asleep, just like everyone else. And I don't think that's how that works.
Is that how do sharks even sleep? How do sharks even sleep?
Yeah.
Do they just like go and they just like go on the ocean floor and lie down?
I don't know, Milku.
Okay.
Mystery science still can't answer.
I mean, as long as Tintin says it, I bet he's right about it.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm sure there's no sharks to worry about.
We will see.
Okay, so I do have an answer for the shark thing, but I'll get back to that later.
Oh, you do? Okay, yeah. Get that,
Just trust me. Yeah, I googled it, don't worry. But, Haddock's like, okay, you know the drill. I know Tintin is saying to Haddock, if I'm not back in a couple of hours, go get the cops. Goodbye, Captain. And Snowy, don't be bad. And Haddock's like, okay, good luck. And he's like, well, it's so funny. Because you just see the top of Tintin's head, just a little orange dot going out towards the ship. But Haddock's like, well, there's no stopping him. You know Tintin.
Oh my god, that's so cute though. It's like
is.
He's like, I have to keep.
Like,
he's like, I have to keep my hair up. That's why he's doing it.
Tintin's like, I could swim a different way, but like I'd risk getting my hair wet, and I can't do that. But
my hair has to be noticeable at all times, even when
my hair has to stick up. It has to. But he gets to the ship. He climbs up the anchor, and Tintin, he's like, okay, now here's the difficult part. And also, could I just mention, because I've just noticed, Tintin looks really nice with just like, without the suit jacket, just like his shirt with the sleeves rolled up like that. Very nice, Tintin.
Oh yeah. I think he was wearing that in the movie as well. Wait, I don't remember.
Was he really?
I don't remember. Maybe at like one point.
Hold on.
I think I'm confusing it with the suit. Wait, no, I remember. He wore it in the Castafiore part. Or in the desert.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah, I remember seeing him in that outfit. He's sneaking around the ship, as he does, because he's Tintin. And he hears, like, someone talking. And he's like, oh, gosh, dang it. And so he goes around a corner, he's hiding. And then someone comes out at the end of the hallway. And Tintin's like, oh, gosh, it's somebody else. And so he just ducks into a cabin. Just like the next cabin that's in front of him. And so he goes, that guy didn't see me, he's going past. And you see the two dudes that Tintin was hiding from. And, you know,
oh, and there's a cat.
Like, oh, what is it? Yeah.
There's a cat
and
there
Chiquito,
too.
Chiquito, who's one of the dudes, he's like, oh, it's just a cat. And Tintin's like, yes, they think it's a cat. Because there is a cat, you know?
Yeah.
And then Tintin hears him going back into his cabin, and he's like, oh, wow. And then he hears someone snoring in his cabin that he ducked into, and he's like, someone's in there, I have to get out of here. and the person in the bunk speaks and says, "Excuse me, a little further to the west." And Tintin's like, "There's only one person in the world who talks like that, and then he goes over to the bunk and pulls back the sheets dramatically and reveals calculus.
It's like Scooby-Doo. He's just like, oh, there's only one person that could say something like that, and then he takes off his mask.
Right?
Oh my god.
This just turned into a Scooby-Doo episode.
Yeah, it would be funny.
Basically.
It would be funny if like calculus like said like a little further to the west, and Tintin's like, okay, thanks, and then he goes away. That would be.
Tintin's like, that's something the Thompsons would do. They'd hear that and then be like, oh, we need to go a little bit to the west because they're the Thompsons. But yeah, Tintin like tries to wake up the professor. He's like, "Professor, it's me, Tintin. Please wake up." And Tintin's like, "Well, I guess he's been drugged or something." And he's like, "Hey, what's this around his wrist?" And it's the bracelet from the mummy. And then the lights turn on, and Tintin's like, "Oh crap!" And Chiquito's like, "Yeah, it's the bracelet of Gaspar Kapak." And Tintin's like, "Oh, it's you." And the guy's like, "Yeah, it's me."
And then he's like, he must die.
Yeah.
And then obviously Tintin punches him in the face.
Yeah. But I love Tintin's expression when he's like, "What do you want with calculus?" He just looks so angry.
I know.
Which, fair enough.
He looks so small.
You know, he does. Tintin's so small. But yeah, Chiquito's like, "Oh, we want to kill calculus because he committed sacrilege for putting on the bracelet, so now he's got to die." And Chiquito turns around to call in the other guy, Alonzo, and Tintin like sucker punches him. And it's so funny because Tintin's so short compared to Chiquito, so it's just like,
yeah, and he's holding a gun.
Looks like it in this panel.
Yeah, Tintin is just not afraid because Chiquito is taller than him. Chiquito is like, he's like 5'2", and he's holding a gun. And the other guy's like, I don't know, he's probably 5'3", and Tintin's like 4'8". We never know. We don't know. And also, he's holding a gun, and Tintin's not even afraid of that.
Yeah. Well, Tintin's been through enough already, so he's not really scared of guns. But Tintin runs out, and he turns the corner, and there's a guy there waiting to catch him. So Tintin just headbutts this guy in the stomach, and keeps running, and it's really funny. Honestly.
He's too short.
He is. The panel of Tintin running around the corner and then headbutting this guy, 10 out of 10. I love it. It's so funny. But yeah, they're shooting at Tintin, and Haddock like hears the gunshots. He's like, "Tintin has to be in trouble. They're murdering him." Ah! And he like is cursing at them, and he's like, "I'm gonna kill those guys for hurting Tintin." And Snowy starts freaking out, and Haddock is like, Haddock's like, "Shut up!" And then they see Tintin, and he's like, "Oh, all right, hi, Tintin." And
oh man, what a character development was going on while Tintin was gone.
Yeah, but also in that panel where they spot Tintin, his hair is like down, so it's not floofy anymore for that one panel.
Wait, where? I don't see it.
The panel where Haddock's like, "Oh, there's Tintin."
Oh wait, I see it. Oh no, his record's been broken. It's so tiny. It's so hard to spot. It's just a dot. It's 2 dots, and then like a tiny patch on his head.
Yeah. But Tintin swims up to the rowboat, and Haddock like helps him up and stuff, and he's like, "Are you okay?" And Tintin's like, "No, I'm fine. Let's get out of here really quickly, because they kind of want me dead." And he says, "Calculus is on board, Captain. I saw him. They're going to kill him." And so they go back to the shore. They're like, "We need to get reinforcements." And Tintin's like, "Go back to town and alert the police, and I'm going to stay here and keep watch." He puts his suit jacket back on, And turns to Snowy. He's like, we're not sleeping tonight, Snowy. I'm very sorry. And Snowy's like, I could have guessed. And so Tintin just stakes out by some rocks and is like, they're launching a boat. They're making their move soon. And Haddock runs up to a phone box. He calls the chief. Or he calls the police, and says, I want to speak to the chief inspector. And the cop who answers is like, are you crazy? He's asleep. And Haddock's like, I don't care. You need to call him right now. And the student says, you're breaking my heart for some reason. And he's like, it might be urgent, but no one wakes the chief inspector at 4 a.m. And
wow.
Haddock's like, you have to wake him up right now. And then the guy hangs up on him and he's mad about it. And meanwhile, Tintin is like, that robot's getting nearer. Come on. We can't be seen, Snowy. And it cuts back to Haddock. And he's like, oh, I know. I'll call the Thompsons. And it doesn't work.
Oh no, it's not a good idea.
Relatable though, like.
Haddock's like, oh man, I have to call the Thompsons. Whatever.
Yeah.
He like begrudgingly calls the Thompsons.
Yeah.
It's his only hope.
Okay, sorry.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. He's like, oh, well, who can I call? And then he goes down the list and sees the Thompsons, and the last one's left. He's like, crap.
Well, they end up not answering, unfortunately.
Yeah, they were sleeping. To be fair, I wouldn't answer the phone at 4 a.m.
Yeah, me neither.
But, it cuts back to Tintin. Apparently it's been, like, hours because it's daylight now. And Tintin sees them carrying a calculus aboard. And, Haddock is still trying to call the Thompsons, and they're still arguing over who's going to answer. And and he does get through to them. One of the Thompsons is like, oh, I'll answer the stinking phone because it won't stop. And they're like, oh, so that's the situation then. And half an hour later, they're all strolling down the street. And it's been 2 hours since Haddock left Tintin.
Oh my god.
So I guess, yeah, it does make sense. Because they mentioned, like, earlier, like, oh, it's 4 a.m, and 2 hours later it would be light outside. So I'll give you a pass, Hergé, for that one.
Wow, the attention to detail.
Wow. A realistic passage of time.
Yeah, for once.
Yeah. But, Haddock's like, there's the boat. I left Tintin here, but where is he? And they're calling for Tintin. But he's gone. How mysterious. And so they're, like, searching the beach for, like, whatever. And Haddock's like, oh, we ought to pick up his tracks easily enough, whatever. One of the Thompsons like, oh, it's like looking for a needle in a haystack. And then the other one goes, to be precise, we look like needles in a haystack. And Haddock finds some footprints and several others, and they're like, maybe we should follow these. And they followed up to a road, and Haddock's like, well, that's not a problem, that's a road, because it still goes this way.
I guess.
And, yeah, well, he's like, well, there's no tire tracks, so I don't suppose they got in a car. And, one of the Thompsons, he goes, what if it's a trick? What if they went in the opposite direction? And Haddock's like, wow, you're so smart. You should go the opposite direction, okay? And they're like, that sounds like a great plan. And the Thompsons turn around and smack right into a sign that it says blind corner. Very funny.
Oh, wow. Okay, that was a good one.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one.
I also like how Haddock's like, okay, well, I don't want to spend time with you guys anymore, so you go that way, please.
He's like, your boss might have wanted you to be in the comic, but I don't, so get out of here.
Yeah, he just like goes along with the idea. He's like, You know what? Yeah, that's actually a good idea. So you guys should go that way, and I'll go the other way. And we'll never.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll find Tintin. Who knows? I just don't want to be near you. Many hours later, Haddock comes across this guy, this little boy. He's quite familiar. And then he's like,
Mhm.
okay, he's asking him like, hey, have you seen like this a young European guy and his white dog? And Simpson's like, that's me. And it's like,
Surprise! It was Tintin the whole time.
it was Tintin all along, always has been. And it has like
Yeah.
Tintin, you young rascal. Oh man, you have me fooled.
That was a
I
good prank, Tintin.
yeah, I got pranked by you, Tintin. Good job. And he's like, oh.
Tintin posted on his YouTube channel.
Hey guys, welcome back to my vlog. I just pranked my best friend, and now we're gonna go track down my friend who's my other friend who's been kidnapped. That's what we're doing today.
Just everyday things, you know.
Yep, not my sorry viewers. My vlog isn't that exciting. But I'll check back with you later. Okay.
He vlogs the little prank part, but not like any of the kidnapping stuff, and everyone's just like,
Yeah, sorry. All I had in
funny.
store today was pranking my friend, but and by the way, I saved my kidnapped friend, but like that's not very interesting. Honestly, oh my god. But then Haddock's like,
well, you know, if you videotape yourself doing stuff like that, you get in trouble. So Tintin's being smart about it.
oh yeah, what a good boy. Tintin's like, I'm a good boy. See,
Yes.
I would never prank my friend. But then he's like, so he's like, I'll explain everything. So shortly after you left, they brought Calculus on the shore, and they had people waiting for them. So they lifted him onto a llama and led him away, and then I followed them. And so we came. So then they came to Santa Clara, which is a small town, and I bought this poncho while I was on the run, while I was following them because I had the time. And then I was able to get close to them to the station.
That's a good point. Where did he actually get that though? Like, he looks nice and everything, but either he stole it, had it on him already somehow, or he stopped to buy one. Neither of these options are good to him.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta have disguises. You gotta disguise yourself somehow. I mean,
Fair
like, it
enough.
would be easy. Yeah, it would be easier if he had a disguise because he could follow them, like, without really being noticed. But then he's like,
yeah, well, that's why he got the poncho in the first place, I think. But like, it still seems really weird.
I know. What if he just didn't buy it for disguise purposes? He was just like, oh, by the way, I found this poncho. It looks really nice on me. But you know,
That would be real funny.
but then I lost the trail because I bought the poncho. But it was worth it. Oh, typical Tintin. I don't know. I just like it when Tintin's that being a dumbass. It's my head canon. He's stupid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, he does actually say that he bought the poncho.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He was able to get close to them that way, so it was smart. It was a calculated decision. Yeah. And so
he says that it's a calculated move, and Haddock's like really impressed. But Tintin really is just like, he's like, oh, this looks nice, and he put it on and realized he could get closer, and then he's like, I'm gonna tell Haddock that's why I got the poncho.
But I'm going to wear it when I meet him, so he sees how good I look. Like no need to take this thing off. I bet he enjoys wearing a poncho.
He looks nice in it, honestly.
He looks so cute. He looks tinier. Like every outfit he wears, he just looks tinier and tinier. But anyways, so then Haddock's like, what do they do to Calculus? And Tintin's like, well, obviously they drugged him. But well,
obviously,
yeah. Or maybe he's just a heavy sleeper. But you know, Tintin's always right, so so he's like, obviously he's drugged, and he's not a heavy sleeper. I mean, I don't know that, but like they probably drugged him. Obviously, probably. and
Yeah.
then Susan's like, okay, so the train left. I couldn't follow them. I didn't have money because I spent all my money on buying this poncho.
That's what I was thinking. Like, I'm thinking he had money for the poncho and the hat, but then not enough for the train ticket. Which, fair enough. I think a train ticket would still be more than a poncho and a hat. But, like, you know, still.
It wasn't worth it. Was it tends to like, okay, I couldn't follow them, but like, don't I look cute? It was worth it.
Right.
Okay, and then Haddock's like, oh my god, I can't believe you bought that stupid project. Well, he didn't say that, but that's probably what he's thinking. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, oh man, the gangsters. We'll catch the next train. And Tin's like, yeah. But unfortunately, the train only runs every other day. So they have to wait 2 days. And Tin's like, why are you by yourself? And then he's like, didn't you call the Thompsons? And Captain's like, the police are still in bed, and the Thompsons are on your trail somewhere. And there they are, on the trail.
Tintin just...
Yeah?
Tintin just doesn't say anything about the Thompsons. Haddock's like, yeah, they're looking for you, and Tintin just goes, oh, alright, and then moves on with his life.
In the next panel, at least they're still looking for Tintin. That's really nice of them. Even though it's probably like really hot friends. Out. Yeah. But then 2 days later, they 2 days later they catch the train, and this guy is following them. Is it Chiquito? Is that his name? Or is that a different guy?
Yeah, it's Chiquito.
Yeah, so Chiquito, he's...
No, it's the same dude.
Yeah. Wait, it's Chiquito, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So Chiquito is following them, who's following Calculus. There's a lot of following going on. Mm-hmm. And then so they go on the train, and Chiquito's talking to this guy. He's like, oh, I can't, you asked for too much, I can't. And he's like, it's his order, you know? It's like, I actually don't know what they're talking about, but, you know, I think we'll just find out later.
Yeah, we do. Also, this guy that's, like, to the right of the panel looks like he overheard, and he's just like, yeah, I'm having none of this today.
Is he holding a train ticket in his hand?
It looks like it. He's like, yep, time to throw this out. I'm not dealing with that garbage.
Why does it look like a pregnancy thing? It looks like like that pregnant thing where you find out you're pregnant.
Yeah.
You're just like, my girlfriend's pregnant, I can't go on this train. Damn it. Okay, but anyway.
Yeah.
But anyways, so half an hour later, there's a lot of time skipping, but, you know, whatever, that's just a nitpick. And Tim's like, we're off. But all that crowd of passengers, nobody's gone into our compartment. And he's like, and then the Chiquito guy's like, oh, he have a good trip. And so
he just giggles like a little schoolgirl.
He's just like, I did that. It was me. I came up with the plan. Okay, so then the train's going, and then so they Haddock goes out and checks the cart or whatever the heck it's called, the part of the train. I'm just gonna call it a cart. And so like carriage.
Yeah.
Carriage. Haddock calls it a carriage.
Yeah.
And Haddock's like, oh, we're completely alone in here. And so Tintin's like, oh,
that's weird.
Yeah. He's like, oh, that's weird. And then he's like, he just says this random travel thing. I was looking at this travel guide. The train climbs below this much feet over a distance of that many miles. It's the highest railway in the world. And he's like, and Haddock's like, yeah, they're just like making conversation. And then they slow down. Tintin notices that they're slowing down. And Tintin's like, oh my god, we have to get out. the coupling has broken. Whatever the heck that is, the coupling, the weird chain thing
it's
that
the thing
links.
that like
yeah.
The thing that connects the cars to each other.
Yeah, the
and
thing.
Tintin's like, yeah. So the thing is, Captain, we're kind of in another life or death situation. So like, let's scram.
Yeah, let's get the heck out of here. And so like, he's like, Tintin literally just pushes Captain off because it really does
sound
look
like he pushed him off the train completely, but like he just moves him to the door, and Hank is like hang on to the side on these bars, and then Tintin's like, okay, now jump.
Yeah, but he crashes into a cactus.
Yeah, but he's fine other than that.
Yeah, he's fine. It's okay. He's always fine. Mm-hmm. And so Tintin's like, okay, it's my turn. But oh crap, I've forgotten Snowy. And so
oh no,
yeah,
I forgot
my dog. and so they go into, oh crap, I forgot my own dog that I've been probably known my whole entire life. Okay, and so they go into this tunnel, and so it's dark and he can't see, and he's looking for Snowy, and then he bumps into.
He bonks his head.
Yeah, he bonks his head somewhere. I mean, we need to have at least one bonk, one time for each comic.
Just episode equals one bonk on the head.
As a treat, you can have a bonk. You can have this moment of Tintin being dumb. And so he's looking for Snowy, and Snowy, he's still asleep.
Somehow.
Somehow. I mean, the train did slow down, but like it looks like it's going fast now. I don't know how
it's like works. Hurtling down a really tall mountain, so.
Yeah, didn't they say somewhere that it's like slowing down? Oh wait, oh yeah, it did.
It slowed down because it detached, and then the hill took it away, and it's like, Zoop.
Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Tintin brings Snowy out of where Haddock jumped, and Tintin's like, okay, no, we'll be killed. And so he went to he goes to the emergency brake, and he tries to turn it, but it rips off. Because he's like, he rips off because they sabotaged it, I guess. And he's like, what can I do now?
It does its job and breaks.
Oh yeah.
That's what it's supposed to do, right?
Oh yeah. Tintin's like, oh yeah, this thing did do its job. So I guess I'm dead.
He's like, he's just like, fair enough.
He's just like, that's fair. And then he's like, what can I do now? And there's like, and so there's this huge bridge, like he mentioned earlier. There's this bridge that that like oversees a huge river. Huge. Everything here is huge. It's a really huge gap. Yeah, look. Okay, so in the panel,
Tintin's just so small.
I know, right? Like when Hershey draws the panel of him jumping off, he's just like a speck. It's that big.
Yeah.
Hershey wanted you to know how huge everything else was compared to Tintin. And so he jumps into the lake. He's safe, and Snowy pops his head out, and he's like, "Oh my God, where's Tintin?" And then this really cute panel. There's this really cute panel of Tintin just popping up under Snowy. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Too much cuteness. And his quiff is ruined again. What a shame.
Gosh dang it. Not his quiff.
He does look cute though. I mean, in the movie,
does look very cute.
Yeah, in the movie, apparently it never went down. I guess physics don't apply Yeah, in the movie, when he went into the water, like his quiff never went down. even after he put his head, he probably has a bone under there. But anyways, that's a bunch of cursing talk.
Why would you say that? That's very cursing.
I just wanted to compare the two of my favorite Tintins. Which are probably the only existing ones.
Yeah.
But anyways,
it's a horn. And then it's just he grew his hair out over it. That's what it is, Milku. Wow.
It was a horn all along.
Yeah, conclusion, Tintin's a unicorn.
In conclusion,
I don't make the rules.
Yeah, sorry, I don't make the rules. It was unicorn all along, always has been. I'm sorry, I really like that meme. But
yeah.
anyways, yes, one of the Tintins apparently is a unicorn. And you know what? I'm happy. It's good to know. But this one apparently
so that's
isn't.
The secret of the unicorn.
Oh my god! It all ties together. The secret of the unicorn was in Tintin all along. Tintin was the unicorn. It was never about the ships. Okay, but we're really going off topic. And so like the train, you see the train fall off, and it's like, oh my gosh, well we gotta thank our lucky. It's like, oh, we thank our lucky stars or something. I don't know what the heck that means.
Mm-hmm. And it's pretty much just an expression, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I've never heard someone say that. But he goes,
I think I have before.
Thank our lucky stars.
Somewhere. I don't remember where though.
I think it's just a 60s thing.
Maybe.
When was this comic made? There's a lot of old timey language in here that I don't really get.
Like, it's really weird reading it in 2020 because it's like, you know.
It's like nuts to the sharks, and I'm like, what? Nuts has a different
this
definition.
Yeah. This comic was published in 1946.
Oh my god, I was way off.
And just a little bit, don't worry.
I thought this was 60s, but when was it translated?
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
If this was translated in 2020, do you think it would say the same thing?
Probably not.
Okay, yeah.
They'd be like, we're not gonna say that.
Okay, but the last thing I would want is a Tintin comic in 2020.
Yeah.
Considering how much I hate modern things have become very uncomfortable these days. Just saying.
Yeah. Just like, because I've been watching a lot of like 80s shows and stuff, and it's so much better than shows nowadays, and it's just kind of sad.
Have you seen Scoob?
I have seen it. It was okay.
I didn't like the pop culture references. they're just like making all these Netflix jokes. It's like they're like, oh my god, don't you hate it when people use Netflix or something? I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, it was like, I think Fred, he goes, people pay for Netflix? And I can kind of like understand, because you know, Fred, Daphne, Velma, and them, that's something they might say in a modern setting, you know, but it's still kind of just like, oh, okay.
It was also in Sonic. Yeah. It was also in the Sonic movie. Like, they didn't mention Netflix.
Yeah, that Amazon joke. They made an Amazon joke.
He's an owl.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something like that. Oh, oopsie.
Oops.
Forget that ting. Okay, but anyways, we're going off on it.
Sorry, Kosi, you're gonna have to cut that out. But yeah, pop culture references, they can be done well, but it's just, yeah, you know.
Yeah, you don't want to draw. You know what I had? I had this nightmare where there was a new Tintin like movie, and the trailer the trailer opened with him just doing the floss.
That's horrifying. Thank you.
In mocap, and it was in mocap too.
Oh no!
I know.
That's awful.
I know. Okay, let's just.
I don't know.
I don't want to imagine it anymore.
Yeah, but I just want to say that I do like a lot of older media, and I don't know why. I just do, because my favorite book was published in the 70s, I think, and it recently got translated because it was published in the Netherlands. But, like, you know, reading it, I'm like, I really love this story. And then I started Jax, how dare you? Sorry, my dog. But I started reading the Moomin books too, and I really liked those a lot. So I don't know, just older media is.
I don't think they.
Okay, let's move
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, they just don't try to be modern. They don't try too hard to be modern. Like with Tintin, like you could make. Hergé wanted Tintin to be modern, I think, didn't he? But like,
I don't know.
for some reason it worked. I don't know. I read somewhere that he wanted like Tintin to be modern because like in the he wanted it to take place in the modern world. So like whenever he made a comic, there would be like these new vehicles and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was
time.
it would be made at the time, and so he just included them. But like the thing is, like when you make when you make jokes.
Well, that's that's
doesn't.
different because like with this, it's just the setting is what was modern for the time, and then eventually that moves on, and there's different modern. So stuff from today, you know. One day it'll be older, and then people will be like, "Oh, it's like an early 2000s setting," and it's not really like a pop culture thing. It's more just like a time thing, you know, as opposed to like a pop culture thing.
Yeah, Hergé never put pop culture jokes in here. I think.
I'm glad because I can't even imagine what 40s pop culture would be like.
Yeah, but anyways, moving on. I can't
believe.
Yeah, it just went from Tintin like, oh my god, his quiff is down, and then a conversation about pop culture.
Wait, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Interesting.
We're not gonna talk about Unicorn Tintin anymore. So, anyways, oh my god, his quiff, oh, it's down. So he goes out of the water, and he dries himself off. His quiff comes up,
and his quiff just instantly goes back up. Yeah. It's magical, I'm telling you.
His hair is inexplicable. His hair is an enigma. But anyway,
so is he.
He's
not gonna lie.
My mind is an enigma. So like I don't know, I just thought of Patrick.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
And so like he climbs up. Oh my god, that's really steep. It must have taken a long time for him to climb up, like back up on the rail.
I know, like that's crazy.
Isn't it supposed to be like
Spider-Man?
Spider-Man? Yeah, it's like 1,500 something miles high. I don't know, I wasn't counting.
I think so. It's probably a bit less than that, but yeah, really like steep, just straight cliff with, or not straight because there's a bunch of rocks hanging out, but anyways, continue please.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive because Snowy did it too. But anyways, I'm just gonna speed through this. So he's like, okay, come on, Snowy, we're almost there. And then he goes, he's like, let's find the captain. And he goes through this red tunnel. It's really pretty.
Mm-hmm. It is very nice. Yeah. Very scenic.
Yeah, it reminds me of Marlin Spike a little bit. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the bricks. And so like,
it's probably the bricks.
And so like they find Haddock. I like how when they meet each other, they just say "hooray." That's so cute.
Right? They're both shouting at each other across the like. Tintin's still a speck in the distance, and he shouts "hooray!" and then Haddock shouts "hooray!" So it's just like they're shouting at each other over this great distance. That's just what friends do, honestly.
Same hat. I don't know why, but it reminds me of that meme where it's like same hat.
It does. Can someone edit that panel so they're both saying same hat?
Same brain. Oh my god. Yeah, that it really does look like that.
Yeah.
It's a shame they aren't wearing the same hat though. Hair J,
Well,
you
you
could have
don't know that.
taken
You
it.
can't see Tintin, so
Oh, that's true.
who's to say he's not?
Tintin just pulls up
He
a
could be.
Tintin just pulls up a random captain hat out of his pocket, and then he's like, "Same hat."
Yeah. And
Okay.
Adam's like, wait, what?
And Tintin's like, just go along with it. And Adam's like, okay, same hat. Okay,
Yeah.
so then this, what the heck is that? Is that a cart? It's like some,
Yeah, it's like a train car.
yeah, it's like a car, and then Haddock's like, stop, and so they stop. I don't know why that's so
Stop in
funny.
the name of the law.
Stop in the name of the law. I like how they actually I like how Haddock's just running in the next panel. Haddock's just running towards the cart because it takes a while for it to stop. Okay, so then they're like,
Yeah.
so the people in the cart, they were like, you were in the runaway coach and you were able to jump in time. That's great. And he's like, I'm in charge. I'm in charge of the
Yeah.
next station. And when the train arrived and there was a thing missing, I was pretty upset.
We're like, hey, that's kind of suspicious.
Yeah, he was like, I was most upset, so I decided to come here and see what happened. And
Tintin's like, you were upset. I almost died.
And Tintin's like, accident? You mean attempted murder? And he's like, attempted murder? But like, impossible. And Tintin's like, oh, all the same, it's true. But let's just not waste time. We were going to Juaga. Is that how you pronounce it? Joga.
Let's just not try and pronounce these names because I honestly don't know.
Yeah, and he's like, okay, will you take us to that place?
Redacted.
Will you take us to Redacted?
Just say Redacted.
And so they take them there, and he's like, a short man with little black beard and glasses. Like, they're describing calculus. And he's like, yeah, he was accompanied by some Indians. And then Haddock's like, he was a prisoner of the Indians. Our friend has been kidnapped. He's like, and I don't know who that is. They're just talking to like this. He looks like a colonel or like an officer.
He's some sort of military police guy.
Yeah, he just looks like an yeah.
So,
that'll do. And then he's like kidnapped by the Indians. That wasn't the man you're looking. He wasn't the man you're looking for. The one I'm talking about seems to follow the Indians quite willingly. And then Haddock's like, he's been drugged. And so he's like, oh, you think so? Not likely.
But yeah. So the dude, he's like, oh, well, in that case, since you think your friend's been drugged, that's not likely. And now that I think about it, the guy that I saw was actually really tall and pale and clean shaven. And Hank's like, well, hold on a minute. And the dude's like, no, I just made a mistake. Just, sorry about that. That's not very suspicious at all. And Shin's like, oh, I wonder why he suddenly just changed his mind. And then Tantan's like, yeah, he seemed really anxious about it. That's so weird. And he theorizes that maybe this dude was afraid of the Indians. And so Tintin's like, okay, well, the only thing to do now, then, is split up and question the locals. And Haddock agrees and says, okay, we'll meet outside the station in an hour. And so they just go around town asking about calculus, and no one says, like, anything. They're like, no, we haven't seen him. Nope, not me. And meanwhile, Tintin, he's just like, oh, I can't believe this. No one has seen him, or they're too afraid to say they have. And Tintin's like, okay, well, I'm going to ask that orange seller. There's like a kid with a basket of oranges, right? And there are these two guys leaning against a wall. And one of them goes, here comes Zorino. Watch this, dude. This will be so funny. and he kicks the basket of oranges and they go scattering everywhere. So hilarious, am I right?
No.
They're like laughing. They're just laughing hysterically. This poor kid, Zorino, is like trying to pick up the oranges, and the dude steps on his hand, and Tintin rushes and he shoves this dude, and he's like, "You brute!" It's just,
this is just
man,
like square up.
Tintin. Yeah, Tintin's like, "Dude, I will fight you."
He's just like, Tintin's like, I need to stand up for my fellow short people, my fellow children.
Yeah. Yeah. But Tintin, he gives in to this guy. He's like, "Aren't you ashamed of yourself bullying a child?" And Chiquito sees Tintin like yelling at these dudes from behind some bushes, and these dudes are like, "Oh, so you're looking for trouble?" And the guy who kicked the basket's like, "Don't worry, I'll take care of this dude." And he like starts swinging at Tintin, and Tintin dodges every single fist, and this guy's getting angrier and angrier. And at some point, Snowy's like, "Hey, be careful of the wall." And the dude punches the wall. And Tintin's like, "Oh, geez, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for that to happen." And Snowy bites the other dude who's coming to, like, sneak attack Tintin. And so they just run off, like, yelling and screaming. And, yeah.
Wow.
I think that's a good place to stop for today. Yes?
Yay. The bad guys. The bad guys have been defeated. Well, not really.
Yes.
They're more like sub bad guys.
Yeah, like filler bad guys.
Yeah, just to show how awesome Tintin is. Whoa.
Yes. Well, that wraps it up for this first part of the episode. Come back next time. I won't say next week, because probably not, but next time, and we'll be finishing the comic. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. This has been Mecha and Milku.
Goodbye.
Bye.